Rodgers telling McAfee, we're playing with too much anger and not enough enjoyment. Personally in our team, and we just need to have a little bit more fun. We just have to respond to adversity a little bit better, and it starts with me. Oh. Nick, do you think fun is the problem?
Well,
or lack thereof?
I don't, but if it is, I have the exact moment the season turned from joy to fun, from joy to anger, or fun went away.
The hug?
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to hug.
If I'm excited and celebrating and
Greg,
trying, I'm not going to do it, and try to give you a hug and you shove and glare at me, I'm like, oh, we're angry team. We're not fun team. We're not playing with it. We're not joyful team. Yeah. We're a serious team. By the way, since then, they've lost every game they've played. I actually don't think this has anything to do with it. I think this is bad analysis. And it's because I think Aaron and a lot of the media and the Jets ownership, really everyone but seemingly Jet fans, who I think at this point a lot of them have accepted it, are in denial. The problem with the Jets is they're not good. And I know I keep saying that, but it is at its core the problem. The problem is they don't pass block very well. Their quarterback, who had a 64-game stretch before his last year in Green Bay. In 64 games across 4 seasons, he threw 15 interceptions. He has thrown 19 interceptions in his last 24 games. So he went from a guy who never turns the ball over to turns it over a ton. The defense maybe does miss Robert Saleh when that was his calling card, was great defense, and maybe was a touch overrated. So I don't think there is some magic wand to wave. I don't think they're in a supernatural funk. I don't think that they need to, start watching rom-coms instead of thrillers. I think that they have the same problem most 2-5 teams across NFL history have. Not good. And so I just think it's hard for the quarterback to admit he's the quarterback of a bad team. But that's who he is.
I think this quote means one thing. Aaron Rodgers is out of answers. When I covered the Knicks and Jeff Van Gundy was the coach, every time they lost, it was a moral crisis. We didn't want it enough. They played harder than us. And I get that. That was a good strategy. But no, it was because they had Shaq. And you had 6'7" Larry Johnson with a bad back guarding him. It was because Kobe's better than Allen Houston. But that's how when you don't have tangible answers, we're not going to beat Shaq and Kobe consistently. All right? We're not good enough. When you don't have tangible answers, a coach can't say that, Greg. We're just not good enough. We can't say that as a coach or as the star quarterback. So you go to the intangibles, right? You go to the stuff that's, we just got to play harder. We're, like stuff like that. So that's what this tells me. And I think one thing he said that was right is the players being tight. If they're tight, this is what I tried to articulate on Monday. I don't think I did a great job of it. But it's because of his presence. They want to please him. Now they're seeing, well, he's not playing that well, and we're getting blamed for it. So maybe they're a little angry because of that, right? So all of this, it comes back to Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, so number one, fun is winning. Winning is fun. And to your point of, you think they're a bad? I don't really think that they're a bad team. They're playing bad. They played bad, but they have pieces that can get it done.
Greg's one of those people still in denial.
I may be. I may be. But for me, it's a matter of just stringing together a way to win. And he says something as he continued to talk about his leadership. He said, it's been good. It hasn't been. It has to be great. Well, when you are a guy who comes in and your presence is so huge and it's so it takes up the room, and you talk about it adds pressure to other players. That's what I have. It definitely adds pressure, but you also have to be the one who alleviates that pressure. You can't bring something to the table and not be the one that can turn it up, turn it down. Now, if you want to have fun, to your point of the hug and all those, we'll start off by having fun. You got to plant those seeds early and often. You can't go into the offseason saying we can't have any distractions and then be the number one distraction. And then to your point of blame, everything that a player does, we will highlight it and almost look at Aaron Rodgers to see how he reacts. The broadcast copies, if any of those players watches them, I don't care what receiver. You think Mike Williams is having fun when he's getting called out?
No.
Like, no, that's not fun. I'm sorry. I don't care how you slice it. If you can't tell me in the locker room how you feel and you have to publicly say it, that's problematic. That's not going to incite or nurture
Inspire
a place,
confidence or fun.
A place of work of fun. That's not going to happen.
I don't think Aaron Rodgers is as confident in his abilities as everyone thinks. I know it's like Aaron Rodgers got a big ego. Aaron Rodgers thinks he's the man. I don't think he actually thinks that.
You mean just now or throughout his
ever
career?
since the Achilles popped. And he said that, guy, it's good to get, once he'll open up little windows like it was good to get that win, and he'll relax a little bit. But when you watch, if I was like trying to go through on this fun angle, and I didn't pull the tape, I was like, who's them having the most fun? And you can see it. You can see it. Completion, run, incompletion. He's happy. He's on the sidelines joking around. Lamar's having a blast.
Oh, yeah.
He's having a blast. No matter what. Even if they lose to the Chiefs, he's still like upbeat and positive.
Unless you get on IG Live on the flight home. Super pissed.
That's right. But game time is fun.
Yeah.
I actually think Aaron Rodgers is a little bit tight. I think Aaron Rodgers is nervous. Why didn't he hug Salah? We want to be up by 2 scores. Why? Patrick Mahomes would be up by 3 points. Feel like there's plenty of room there. Yeah, he could be down. Like, good news, guys. We're down by 10. I'm great in this situation. But I think Aaron Rodgers is not as confident as everybody thinks.
So, that's a really smart take that conflicts with what his words are.
Well, yeah,
and so
I think that's
he's putting on the front. I think that's
no.
A good
so
thing.
I'm not right.
I
And
know
so
that.
because in this interview with McAfee, he went to the well that, if you guys remember, chapter and verse told you guys he would go to.
Yeah.
Because I said they're going to beat the Patriots, lose the next week. I think they play to the Texans, and then he's going to bring up, we've been here before. and he on the McAfee interview said he was like, in 2016 we were 4-6, and then reeled off 8 straight wins, and then lost to Atlanta in the NFC Championship game. Exactly what I knew he would go to. But so today I went back and looked at it. I'm like, how did they go on that winning streak at the end of the year to go from 4-6 to 10-6? In those 6 games, Aaron Rodgers had a 117 rating, 15 touchdowns, and 0 interceptions.
Okay,
and also, for context, how long ago was that? That was that was happening a couple months after the Cavs 3-1 comeback over the Warriors. So the reason I mention that is, if a few months ago when the Lakers were down 3-1 to Denver, LeBron went to the press conference and was like, well, I've been here before, boys. And you know what I mean? Like, I think people would be like, well, yes,
but
you have, but you're not. As good as you might still be, you're not the same guy. So if you're right, Wilds, this might be the second time where I'm the easy mark, where I'm getting conned by Aaron, because he is acting like he does truly believe he's still that guy and just not playing like it. But you might be right.
Yeah, I got
a terrifying place to be when you're in New York. Everybody's expecting you to lead them to the Super Bowl, and you realize inside, I'm not him anymore. You're not going to admit it, but if you know it and everybody still expects that of you, that's scary.
Also, just for the record,
last one's fine.
Really? So you don't think he's
trying to have more fun? Patriots.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get more from the show and to check out clips from other shows on FS1.